So guys, in the very first episode of the MBA Club, we have a very eloquent speaker and a good friend, Mr. Sony Goyal. Mr. Sony Goyal's journey has been nothing less than extraordinary. He is an entrepreneur and a CAT mentor, and he coaches CAT aspirants under the brand name Mission CAT. Mr. Sony is an alumnus from the prestigious IIM Ahmedabad and is also an 11 times 99 plus percentiler in CAT exam. We welcome you, Mr. Sony.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, sir. So, Mr. Sony, first of all, to start with, I would request you to please walk us through your journey from a small town to the most prestigious institution of the country, IIM Ahmedabad.
Yeah, Anshul, the journey, if I talk about, I was born in a village and I did my initial schooling there only. And till class, I would say 10th, was not having any idea even about what management is, what engineering is, right? You know, because the rural area, the awareness about various career and other options is very, very less. So you are not very clear about your career, right? Just because I was good at mathematics, it happened that, I chose engineering and college nearby, the slight Longowal. There I, did my engineering. And in the final year, even I was not even having idea whether I will be going for management or not, right? So this is the very interesting and very important for all CAT aspirants, to understand it's never too late. So in fact, while doing engineering, we had a very different idea of what management is, right? I did few my internships with the companies like Pepsi and there during internship we thought that engineers are the actual workers, right? So वही असली काम करते हैं और बाकी जो मैनेजमेंट वाले लोग हैं वो सिर्फ ऑफिस में बैठते हैं और बड़ी गाड़ियों में आते हैं, that's it, nothing more than that. And at the time it didn't really inspired, in fact we used to hate management as a field and used to say that अगर तुमने मतलब जो movies में भी capture है कई जगह कि अगर management करना है तो फिर engineering क्यों किया, kind of stuff. But final year, we got a chance to interact with a person called Sachit Jain, who was an IIT Delhi plus IIM Ahmedabad alumnus, who came, just to deliver a special talk, and that was really mesmerizing, right? And that was, I think, the first point where we, the thought of IIMs and management ignited, and that lecture kind of tried to tell the correlations between various career, like how engineering and management is correlated, and how by being an engineer you don't become misfit for management, right? And somehow then the journey started to ace the toughest examination in the country. We just made the decision, but very 2 months, within 2 months we get to know कि भाई अपने बस की बात नहीं है, right? वो लोग अलग ही होते हैं जो CAT क्रैक करते हैं, क्योंकि 2-3 महीने आपको कोचिंग करके क्लासेस करके आपको पता चल जाता है कि आपकी क्लास में औकात कितनी है, right? Though we could manage very well with verbal and DI, but verbal में with quant and DI, but with verbal we knew very well कि यार कट ऑफ तो क्या मतलब बहुत बुरा हाल होने वाला है. और हमारे टाइम पे there was no sectional timing. So you have 2003 CAT, you have all 2 hours, you can devote to whichever section you want. So there was hardly any incentive to attempt any other section other than quant and DI. So that way the score was highly skewed, and it remains skewed until I met a guy called Asit Ghosh. He's my mentor. He helped a lot in dreaming big. He said, why not? We said, sir, ठीक है, motivation अपनी जगह होती है, कहानी अपनी जगह होती है, sir. ठीक है, but we know where we stand. But then some inspiring words of him really helped to dream big and dream the impossible. And he says, it's just a matter of few months that somebody has worked very hard and got into that particular subject, and you haven't. Like, you are good at one subject, so because you have worked for it, and somebody, you have not worked for your verbal and you belong to a a village and a vernacular background, that's the only reason, your verbal is not good. And you need to figure it out. If you think you can, you probably can. I think he was very much right. And somehow I got into IIM Ahmedabad very first year, right? And so this is how I landed up in IIM Ahmedabad. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So post your IIM Ahmedabad, you could have easily built a career with any of the major MNCs, Mr. Sony.
Yep.
So how did this entrepreneurship journey start?
So this is another, interesting twist in my journey. I have to be very honest and frank. When I was in my first class of CAT preparation, they asked why you want to, join MBA program. They said this is the question which you will be encountering when you will appear for your management interview, CAT interview. But you need to understand today, right now, why you want to get into IIMs, right? So, and the answer, which I read in one of the, the brochures of an institute, it was the management institutes offers mind-boggling salaries, right? So that was the answer I gave. And to a great extent, that was the reason, because being from a village and being from a middle-class family, earning a good livelihood is, the key priority of ours. And at that time, engineer used to get 5,000 to 10,000 rupees a month, right, as a salary. That would call as a good placed engineer. But when you see people getting a packages of that time, 8 lakh, 9 lakh, it converted to be 70,000 a month. So it's a big difference. I'm talking about 2003. So if you are saying you are eligible for 6,000 rupees a month right now, and then you can earn 60,000, it's a hell lot of difference. So that was I think probably the one reason why we opted for MBA. But when we reached there, we realized, no, that is a byproduct only, right? The 2 years of experience at that institute, makes you an altogether different person. The first big dent that comes is that you start thinking, right? So earlier we are thinking not from, that wider perspective. So in the final year, in the first year, in the final term of first year, I got involved with the, my seniors, what we call as a social venture called Prayas. So they used to teach slum kids there outside the wall of IMA. I too joined as a volunteer, right? And within a few weeks, I got too engrossed that I forget everything. See, I was in the race of gold medal for my class, and first 3 terms I was fighting for anything, because higher ranking means higher package, right? But later it faded away, and Prayas creeped in, and second year ke subject kaise pass kiye wo mere ko pata hai, right? So from a person who was trying to get into being an ice call, I was just trying how we can help these people and how we can make Prayas a good initiative. Because there was a dent, like people are fighting for a package of 10 lakh rupees. And there is a family who is managing the whole livelihood in a day in just rupees 10. So when you watch those lives so closely, you try, you cannot just think of yourself, right? When you see a child who is just outside the wall of IMA, then I composed a poem also, कि भाई, एक इधर जन्मा, एक इधर जन्मा, right? So something like that. So, and एक चुगता है और एक चुनता है, like one is kind of a beggar and almost, and another one is just saying कि नहीं यार package अच्छा नहीं लगा, मेरे को सिर्फ 9.5 लाख का package मिला है. So that kind of stuff was there. So second year I became inclined towards social entrepreneurship. Professor Anil Gupta helped a lot, shaping my thoughts, shaping my ideas. So I wanted to then and there start my journey of being a social entrepreneur, but the middle class family and the circumstances, they don't allow. So, but that could keep me only for 2 years in corporate life. I did work with Godrej, a very good company, and I got good number of promotions. It was all going well, but a day came, then I decided that I need to move to social entrepreneurship. And since then, it was 2008, right, when I jumped into social entrepreneurship just before the birth of my child, right? So that's how it went on.
Very nice, wonderful. So for audience information, Mr. Sony's Cat Mentorship runs from Bathinda. And prior to Mission Cat, I have only heard about Bathinda Express and also heard about Kareena Kapoor's dialogue from one of her movies, Jab We Met, Chikni Hu Main Bathinda Ki.
Right.
And the new one I am hearing right now is Bathinda to IIMs.
Right.
Explain what is this?
Yeah, in fact, Anshul, this movie came exactly at the time when I left my job, right? So, and a lot of planning for Bathinda to IIMs happened when I was watching this movie, right? So, this movie had again very good impact on taking bold decisions. In fact, I would say the script writer has presented very well how Kareena Kapoor takes just the decision of being madness. So that time only I decided to take a decision and left the job and started this. And what was the main idea behind that is Bathinda to IIMs is at IIM what I have seen. The mostly people who reach IIMs are from very good tier 1 institutes in graduation. So if you are not able to make into a good institution at your graduation, your chances of getting into IIM or a good B school for your management course really becomes low, right? Because of many factors. One, there is no motivation in tier 2 colleges. कोई करता ही नहीं है, किसी को पता ही नहीं होता कि कोई IIM नाम की भी चीज होती है. And apart from that, there are many demotivating factors also. जो बोलते हैं कि भाई तेरा नहीं होगा, अभी तक किसी का नहीं हुआ, तो you can never do it. And third thing is those people have not worked that hard in their life. They are not that focused. That's why they are there. Otherwise, they would have been in very good colleges, right? So that they are the kind of a left out of the filtration process that starts at class 10th or class 7th. क्योंकि class 7th में जो बच्चा अच्छा करता है उसको बहुत सारे जगह से पकड़ लेते हैं और उसको बोलते हैं कि भाई तू मैनेजमेंट इंजीनियरिंग कर. Then he goes to Kota and various other places, and then he prepares and then he filters out. But who remains at tier 2 colleges is a person who has 70 percentile in 10th, 70% in graduation, and maybe the 70 in 12th also. We call it as a 777 profile. Okay? So that person may not be fit for management examination, but very good for management career. You see the paradox, right? That person cannot get into IIMs, but if you give him a task, then he is the most compatible person. The people with high-headed institutions, they may be good administrators, but they may not go along, the people with whom you have to work. And management is all about people, about the teamwork. So these guys are very good at it. So we have to break this barrier. We have to think of something where we can bypass this barrier, right? This I encountered during my job, and I was working with Godrej, so I could connect with my staff and laborers very well, thanks to I being from a small town. But whereas my colleagues, which were not from the small town, they were finding it very difficult to even shake hand with the laborer, or number of things, right? They were not able to think at coming to their level, right? So they were more into strategy and what you can say policy making, whereas we were more into the problem solving of people, right? So my 2 years of job at Ajmer with Godrej Group has installed this confidence in me, very, I would say, solid, in a very solid manner, that the people from tier 2 town can really do wonders. I did a small experiment in Godrej. I took around 20 summer trainees from an institute called Aravali Institute of Management as a summer trainee. So Aravali Institute of Management is run by IIM Ahmedabad alumnus. It is again tier 2 college, not very famous as IIM, but their input was very good. Arya sir has given very high inputs for that one. So when I see those people working, we got highest sale in the worst month of our the month which was famous for lowest sale. We got highest ever sale. Who worked? These summer trainees worked, right? They were not from the best of the college, but their way of execution was very good. So then this idea struck that why not to train, why not to groom people from regions like Bathinda, Sangrur, Mansa, right? Because I belong to Punjab, so that came to my mind, and I couldn't find any fun living in Bangalore while my parents are staying at some distant place. So these two things combined, and I took a call and chose Sangrur first as a town to start with. But Sangrur was a too small town. So very next year I moved to Bathinda. Bathinda was even more, I would say backward to nahi kahunga, but having more potential. And it was surrounded by 3 states, right? We have Rajasthan enclosing to this. We have Haryana and Punjab. And it is very far away from Chandigarh. So people don't have good resources for coaching. So in last 1 decade, we were happy to install the faith. आज की जो बात है अंशु जी बहुत अलग है. 10 years back when we called Bathinda to IIMs, मैं colleges में गया बात करने के लिए, वो लोग हंसने लगे कि गोयल साहब कहाँ आ गए आप, राइट? चंडीगढ़ में जाओ, दिल्ली में जाओ, सेंटर खोलो और यहाँ वाले बच्चे जिसको करना होगा वो आ जाएगा आपके पास. वहाँ पे यहाँ पे आपको बच्चे नहीं मिलने वाले. You are wasting your talent. And some people doubted whether if I really graduated from IIM Ahmedabad or not, right? So, but that time there was a belief, yes, we will take students from this place, from IIM to Bathinda to IIM, and that was a dream with which we started. And there it was the only thing that if one can go, you can also go. तो कुछ लोग ऐसा भी बोलते हैं भाई तुम्हारा तुक्का लग गया तो सबका थोड़ी लग जाएगा. Anyhow, but abhi hai कि we last year we got 41 students from Bathinda into top B schools, including IIMs. And almost every IIM now have a student from Bathinda. So yeah, so it's like it gives you good feeling, and I'm very sure these people will definitely contribute a lot towards the development of their own town.
Right.
Yeah.
Very nice. So while we were discussing this topic, sir, I had one other question which I wanted you to answer, please.
Ji.
So what is required to become a student who can actually crack the CAT exam? Is there some inborn kind of talent in the students who actually reach to IIM Ahmedabad, or can that skill be developed by anyone to reach to IIM Ahmedabad?
See, probably I would say there is nothing called inborn. We all are born with the almost same qualities, and किसी की conditions थोड़ी favorable होती हैं, किसी की conditions unfavorable होती हैं. But जो आपका enthusiasm है और जो आपका passion है, अब इसको कैसे put करते हैं आप, वो depend करता है. ये but जो अगर आप थोड़ा ड्रीम करते हैं और थोड़ा पागलपंती रखते हैं, so that makes a good recipe for getting extraordinary results. I'm not saying just IIMs, right? Anything which takes you a way apart, where you are, it's a big leap, a big gallop. For that you need to just think a bit out of box. You need to believe that you can do it and work systematically. A problem कहाँ आता है? First part बहुत easy है करना. You can dream about this. You can also go into this, but it will not be that easy. It will require you to really, struggle for it, attempt again and again. बहुत बार motivation down हो जाएगा, बहुत बार ऐसा होगा कि भाई you always found, तुम्हारा पूरा effort चला गया, पानी में चला गया. I got rejected from symbiosis very badly, even after scoring almost highest in the test. Right, I got rejected in the interview. So there will be a number of times where will you say, it's a complete wastage of your effort. But you have to continue your effort, and definitely there will be improvement. Right. So there are two parts. One thing is to dream, and then to I would say execute that thing. And the execution part is really challenging. And during execution, you may face failure a number of times, but you have to keep yourself going. Right. Yeah. So if I talk about there are students who they fear failure. उनको डर लगता है कि यार by chance अगर हमने तैयारी की और नहीं हुआ तो लोग क्या कहेंगे. तो मैं कहता हूँ कि भी सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. राइट, तो ट्राई करो, हो गया ठीक है, नहीं हो गया यार. कीनिया अगर खेलेगी तो ही तो वर्ल्ड कप जीतेगी. अब अगर वो खेलने ही नहीं आएगी तो वर्ल्ड कप कैसे जीतेगी. Right, so it's not necessarily who knew that that the team which is beaten pathetically will one day be the winner of World Cup, will be the most strong team in the country. हम 83 से पहले तो हम वैसे ही पार्टिसिपेट करते आए हैं, कहाँ पार्टिसिपेट किया है. राइट, और जरूरी नहीं है कि we were born with hockey as our game, and I don't know when we got last Olympic medal in hockey, right? So वो इनबॉर्न वाला कुछ नहीं है, समय के साथ चेंज हो जाता है डायनामिक्स. आप थोड़ा बच्चों को मेरा यही एडवाइस है, अपने आप में थोड़ा विश्वास करो, and you need to find a good mentor because they help you a lot. During my CAT preparation, I got Mr. H.K. Sharma, who always was pushing me like anything. During my college, I got thankful to Professor Anil Gupta. He was again a super thing. And during my job, I got another, my senior, he kept me advising कि कैसे, क्योंकि they have gone through that thing and they are in a better position. तो भाई जब भी आपको कोई चिंता होती है, कोई शक आता है, अपने आप पे डाउट आता है, I would say, go and ask that, sir, मेरे को ये लग रहा है.
Very
and that should solve most of your problems.
Very inspiring.
Ji.
Yes, sir. So my next question to you is that since you are suggesting that any student can actually crack the CAT exam, so what is required for a student to crack the CAT exam? Can a student with a preparation of 1 month crack the CAT exam, or is it a 6 to 1 year time frame which is required to crack the exam? What do you suggest, sir?
Okay, so first let us understand this word crack. Many people say I want to crack CAT. बहुत मेरे पास बात करने आता है बच्चा, सर मैं CAT crack करना चाहता हूँ. I said, okay, when you will be able to crack CAT? He said, sir, what? I mean, what is the definition of cracking CAT? Right? Is it 99.9 percentile? Is it getting into IIM? Is it getting into a good B school? So how do you define cracking CAT? That is a big question. Now, everyone want to get into the so-called top B school, but it is not only that only top B school has the student. There are students who are in other B schools also. And they may be better than that particular institute in many parameters. For example, FMS is much, much ahead of many IIMs, right? And ROI wise, it is, I think, #1 institute in the world, right? So people say, okay, I want to go to IIM, but yeah, FMS ho jayega, so I would, go for FMS also. So what is wrong with TISNET? So first thing is, let us broadly define what do we mean by cracking CAT. Second thing is, how much effort you require depends on what level you are and how much you are aspiring. See, if an IITian, maybe IIT Delhi Computer Science, I even don't need 10 days of preparation. Just 2-3 mocks is enough for me to brush up. Because by +1, +2, I must have done a lot to reach this place, and I must be good at schools also. And so it may not be a very big thing for me, that I need 1 month coaching, 1 year coaching like that. If somebody who is with the, let us say 60% in strength and who has not read most of the subject seriously and who is not very much serious in a career, he may need 1 year of hard work, perseverance. So it is a very subjective question. हालांकि बहुत ज़्यादा ज्ञान अवेलेबल है YouTube के ऊपर, बहुत सारी चैनल्स के ऊपर. लोग 3 मिनट में बता देते हैं कि कैसे 99 परसेंटाइल आए. ठीक है, for me it is very difficult to tell somebody, to take him from 0 to that level. But if you are, first thing you are able to understand what is your level, present level, आपकी हालत कैसी है भाई, in comparison to the people who appear for CAT, vis-a-vis, on that parameters, right? I'm not saying you are bad, but in those parameters, you need to understand. For example, how good you are at quantitative aptitude, how good you are at logical reasoning, how good you are at verbal ability. So first you know where you stand. And second, you see the requirement, where you have to go. See, somebody who is present, after BCom, any tier 3 college, he may not get even a 5,000 job. So if he gets into a college which offers him a package of 6 lakhs, which is 50,000 rupees a month, I think it is as good as cracking CAT. क्योंकि वो भाई 5,000 रुपए वाले बंदे की कैपेबिलिटी आपकी 50,000 रुपए होगी. But who is from a A-grade engineering college already getting a package of 9 lakh rupees, even getting into few IIMs may not be good for him to pursue MBA, right? So it is a very subjective question, and there, this is a point where you need people who, seriously advise you. Here you need the mentor who says, beta, this is your level. Getting 85 for you is cracking CAT, right? Okay, you are a very good person. getting 95 will be cracking cat for you. See, your profile is very good, your academic is good, you should not go less than ABC. So it will totally depend on a student where he should be landing, and the amount of delta that will happen in your career will depend on how much input you are giving. And everyone except a person who has 100 percentile has a scope of improvement. Even a person who has a 100 percentile, he doesn't score 300 marks. वो 250 बड़ी मुश्किल से क्रॉस होता है यार. कैट एक ऐसा एग्जामिनेशन है 300 में से 125 मार्क्स gives you 95 percentile. पिछले 4 साल का एनालिसिस है. So it means you can get into an IIM without even knowing 60% of the questions, right? That is a fact, right? Because it is a management exam, it is not an exam of knowledge. So lot of turmoil happens when you appear for the examination. DI की अलग कहानी रहती है, और वो 1-2 मिनट में मैं आपको बहुत क्लियरली नहीं समझा सकता हूँ, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, राइट? उसके लिए आपको, क्योंकि आप जब प्रोसेस के थ्रू जाएंगे 2 महीने के बाद आपका स्टेटस अलग होगा, राइट? आपको पहले लगता था मेरे को क्वांट आता है, बट 2 महीने बाद आप रियलाइज करेंगे नहीं सर मेरे को नहीं आता है. और दूसरा, स्ट्रेटेजी बहुत अलग तरीके से चेंज होती है. इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि अगर आपका क्वांट अच्छा है तो आपको 95 परसेंटाइल लेना है. यू मे लव टू किल दैट सब्जेक्ट, राइट? किलिंग बाय सब्जेक्ट मीन्स टू गेट 85 मार्क्स. किसने रोका है भाई आपको? अगर तुम्हारा क्वांट अच्छा है, आप 40 नंबर लाके 95 परसेंटाइल ला रहे हैं, तो इट मीन्स वेरी गुड, यू आर हैविंग वेरी हाई परसेंटाइल, बट यू स्टिल हैव ए स्कोप ऑफ 60 स्कोर. Last time I scored 92 in mathematics in quant section. So one can score 90, and my percentile was 99.98 in quantitative aptitude. So somebody must have scored more than that also. So, but to clear the cutoff, you need just 30 marks. So 30 marks, if you got in quant, you are eligible to get into IIM Ahmedabad. So you have a scope of 60 marks still being eligible to get into IIM Ahmedabad. तो भाई ये बहुत सब्जेक्टिव है, बट मोटा मोटा मैं आपको फ्रेमवर्क देता हूँ. फर्स्ट फ्रेमवर्क इज यू शुड नो वेयर यू आर इन टर्म्स ऑफ वेरियस पैरामीटर्स, राइट? दैट इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप. सेकेंड, फॉर यू व्हाट डज इट मीन टू क्रैक कैट? कब आप क्रैक? एवरीवन वांट बेस्ट, राइट? एवरीवन वांट मर्सिडीज टू ड्राइव इन, बट ले लो ना, फिर मना किसने किया, राइट? आप पूछेंगे सर बेस्ट गाड़ी लेनी है, मेरे को बेस्ट गाड़ी लेनी है, कौन सी लो? भाई यू हैव टू सी योर बजट ऑल्सो. आपके घर में आनी भी चाहिए गाड़ी ले ली अपने मर्सिडीज, बट आपके पास पार्किंग की जगह नहीं है, कैसे चलेगा, राइट? तो वो सब चीजें देख के करना है, राइट? यू डोंट फिक्स गेट मैड विद IIM, राइट? मेनी स्टूडेंट दे कैन, सर मेरे को अहमदाबाद ही चलना. मैंने कहा व्हाई नॉट बेंगलोर? नो आंसर. क्यों? somebody has told him that IIM Ahmedabad is the best. It may be good in many parameters, but there are many. SP Jain में क्यों नहीं जाना भाई? No answer. Because they have not really explored what does it mean to crack. और तीसरा और आखिरी चीज, जब आपको ये पता लग गया, then make a plan कि भाई इसके लिए कितना टाइम लगेगा. And maybe a good mentor can tell you this much of number of hours you require if you want this. तुम्हारा वर्बल अभी यहाँ पे है और तुम यहाँ चाहते हो भैया ये चीजें करनी पड़ेंगी, और इसमें 8 महीने लगेंगे, इसमें 1 साल लगेगी, इसमें 6 महीने लगेंगे. फॉर यू इट इज a 2 month job. And then third, इसी का पार्ट that's subject to availability of time with you also, your capacity also, right? मैं 12 घंटे पढ़ा सकता हूँ एक दिन में, क्या आप पढ़ सकते हैं, right? आपकी अवेलेबिलिटी, क्या आप जॉब कर रहे हैं तो भाई टाइम और कम हो जाएगा. So उसके अकॉर्डिंगली फिर शेड्यूलिंग वाला पार्ट आ जाता है, ऑपरेशन वाला. So Anshu ji, I hope I am able to answer this question in a slightly different way. I have not given a what we call it as a cooked advice to the students, which really don't help, right? So I try to be as practical as possible. Ji.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Sony, my next question to you is, if an average student wants to prepare for CAT, can you help us with a detailed plan for him, detailed time frame for him, how he should go about to prepare for it?
Right. A very important question, in fact, and I would say lakhs of students are in this bracket, and they are worried about, sir, how to start. They have a willingness. Unfortunately, they are not having that strong profile that they can do it themselves, but they have a very strong willingness to do that. So for them, first I would say, like now it is, we are in month of end of May, and exam will be in end of November. So we have 6 months, exactly 180 days. Right? So 180 days, if I'm planning, I should break it into maybe 3 or 4 phases. Right? The first thing we need to say that, right? We say 45 days, 45 days, 45 days, and 45 days. So these 4 phases, or he can just break it into 3 phases, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, whichever he finds it convenient. And then the last phase should be kept only for mock test and revision, right? And the phase number 2 is for doing higher level question, and phase number 1 is for doing fundamentals, that too thorough. For verbal, I would say he need to develop the reading speed and a good vocabulary in these 2 months. ये 2 महीने वो अपनी vocabulary और अपना जो reading speed है वो अच्छा बना ले. साथ साथ में जो डाटा इंटरप्रिटेशन और लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में उसमें 16-17 टॉपिक्स बनते हैं, टोटल पाई चार्ट, ये चार्ट, वो चार्ट, वेन डायग्राम, अरेंजमेंट, उन टॉपिक के बेसिक्स समझ ले कि भाई इसका बेसिक क्या है. 2 महीने उसमें लग जाएंगे. फिर क्वांट पे 30 से 35 टॉपिक बनते हैं, एवरेज, रेशियो, प्रोपोर्शन, मिक्सचर, एलिगेशन, टाइम एंड वर्क, ज्योमेट्री, मेंसुरेशन. आई एम नॉट सेइंग go with a difficult question. It's very important. You first clear the basics, right? कि भाई इसका बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट मेरे को समझ में आ गया. Then next 2 months from the same topic you try to do the questions. Previous year CAT question, next level CAT question, and how 2 different topics are getting blended. एक रेशियो है, एक ज्योमेट्री है, उन दोनों को जोड़ के कैसे क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करना है, right? And rest, third phase you appear for mocks, analyze, resolve the mock, right? Apart from this, I am making around a 30-minute detailed video, which will be live very soon in the month of May only, 6 months to CAT. So you can watch that video. In that video, it will be available on MBA Rendezvous also. So on that video, I will be giving you step-by-step guide on how you can go about 6 months for your CAT exam.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So, sir, we got to understand that you have started a fabulous 40 batch.
Right.
Since any student who is not in Bathinda, how can a student get mentorship from Mr. Sony Goyal? Can you please explain about that to us?
Yeah, Anshuji, I last around 6-7 years, I am only coaching 100 students. That because coaching is very different from teaching. What I believe in, if I am not able to mentor a student properly, then I'm not doing my duty. I may be teaching very well, but what a student needs is much more than teaching. He needs personal mentorship, coaching, with which he is able to really progress. Otherwise, he is able to complete just syllabus. So every year I used to, I train 100 students. Out of that, last year की अगर बात करते हैं तो 81 retained. कुछ को मैंने बाय बाय कर दिया कि भाई तूने करने के तेरे ढंग है नहीं है, तू सिर्फ उस कन्या के पीछे आया है कैट कोचिंग करने, तेरे को दिल से करना नहीं है. और दूसरे कुछ लोग को खुद पता चल जाता है कि भाई जो सर मांगते हैं उतनी हमारे बस की बात नहीं है, क्योंकि पापा ने जोर मारा था तो मैंने ज्वाइन तो कर लिया. So finally 81 remained with me, and out of that 41 students got into their dream colleges, and rest are either repeating or they have shifted to other courses. So this year we got because of this good result, we got a very good response, and in the month of March I could get 60 students from the region only. And but for next 2 months, till today, the physical mentorship is totally closed because of the COVID, as we all know. So we started with a YouTube course open for all, which is 200-hour course. So there are many who cannot afford coaching. I offered them 200 hours of complete course, which is going very well on YouTube. And the remaining 40 seats this year I have opened all India level, right? So because colleges are shut, and so we have to teach online only. And last 2 months I am taking classes online. So this fabulous 40 is, we are trying to select students across the country, right? And maybe these 100 students I will be teaching the batch starting 31st of May. And the rest, those who cannot be part of the batch, they need not get disappointed. So they can be really, watch my YouTube lectures. So I will be giving lectures till end of the cat. बहुत सारी videos, बहुत सारा कुछ I am preparing, and a lot of content will be available on MBA Rendezvous also, right, on the site. And I will try to help you guys as much as possible. And those who want to be part of Fabulous 40, and they need to appear for a test, for which details are also available at the site. And they can be part with me, and 6 months hard work, and then your dream college.
Right. The last date for Fabulous 40 is?
Yeah, the last date for is 28th of May. So 31st of May, we are starting with the batch. The orientation class is on 31st of May. It will be a completely online batch. All classes will be delivered in the online mode only. And it will be limited to 40 students, and it will be exclusively with me only, right? And remember one thing, I make you work really hard, right? ये नहीं है कि भाई ज्वाइन कर लिया और हमारा सिलेक्शन हो गया. ज्वाइन करने से लेके सिलेक्शन के बीच में 10 महीने का टाइम है, और वो 10 महीने बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, right? If you are ready to work hard, I am ready to train you, right? Because एक गलत फहमी है, लोग कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट ज्वाइन करने को तैयारी करना समझ लेते हैं, right? इंस्टीट्यूट ज्वाइन करना अलग चीज होती है, तैयारी करना अलग चीज होती है, राइट? सो या
राइट. Thank you so much, Mr. Sony, for sharing your views. And I'm sure, like you got inspired with from one of your mentors, you will now inspire hundreds and thousands of students through this platform. And I hope you can help them fulfill their dream to reach their dream B schools. Thank you so much for taking out time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.